Hey everybody!
Hello friends!
So this video is a little bit different from the topics we're usually covering, but we're keeping it in summary form as we do.
So you may have seen some popular YouTubers circulating videos with the hashtag WTFU, which I thought was what the F YouTube with a U to be clever, but it's actually where's the fair use? And this is a huge deal to everyone on YouTube, whether you're a creator or a viewer.
So basically, YouTube has had a pretty shady system of processing copyright claims for a while. Basically, you can submit a copyright claim, and then the video will get a strike against it, and unless the creator combats it, basically you can just take down the video under the assumption that you own some property that they used, because mostly YouTube assumes that you're making claims that are reasonable. This is unfortunately not true. Recently it's been being abused, and the end result is that it's striking really hard at some of the YouTube community's favorite channels.
Yeah, so the one that we noticed first was the Nostalgia Critic, who may or may not have actually been the first one to talk about this, but companies have been filing claims against the videos that he puts out for his movie review videos, and the reasoning is that if they can claim copyright against a video that he made that talks ill of their product, they can basically censor his dissent against them, which is sort of a backhanded, slightly evil marketing tactic. So the problem is that even though the videos that he made are within the fair use guidelines, basically saying that as long as you don't copy and paste a video of a movie into YouTube, if you talk over it, if you edit it in a clever way, if you do something that makes it yours, it should be fine. The problem is these copyright claims are being processed and levied against the channels in spite of the fact that all of the videos are in fair use.
Someone had a video taken down because they made fun of someone, and that someone levied a claim against them, and you can't actually take something down just because you disagree with it, but because the YouTube content claim system is entirely automated, you can do real damage against a channel. Even if it's not going to be permanent, you can basically make claims against the videos and get them taken down and get the channel demonetized for days at a time, because YouTube does not actually deal with stuff unless there's a huge backlash against them. So the Nostalgia Critics channel was restored like a day after he put up the video saying this has been a problem for a month.
Yeah, it is exceptionally shady the way that this is being done, and the fact that for years YouTube has been run with no human interaction, it's all code, which you can obviously tell is very wrong, because if you're talking about complex issues of whether something is creative or a copy, whether or not that falls into the category of fair use is something that a person should be there to decide, not a code.
One of my personal favorite channels, Team 4-Star, they do Dragon Ball Z Abridged, Hellsing Ultimate Abridged, a bunch of things. Their channel was down between February 23rd and 24th, and again, their channel was reinstated immediately because of this huge backlash. Now, it's a good thing that people are getting this dealt with, but it's not a good thing that it's basically being determined by popularity. Like, YouTube will only address this problem if they get enough of a stink raised about it to actually bring someone real, and that's not how the system should be handled. It's fundamentally broken.
So this doesn't really affect us personally, because Red draws everything by herself, and I use my voice, as does she. The music that I use in my videos is from a database of free and open source Chopin music, but it's something we care about deeply. It matters to us as viewers and as creators in the long run, and it's a system that can be horribly gamed and turned against people, so we want to stop this now instead of letting it, spew down the road and get out of hand entirely.
Now, with some of my earlier videos, because I was using movie footage and licensed music, I would get copyright claims on my videos, and that's not a problem because that's not a strike. I acknowledge the claim, and then the video gets monetized for someone who's not me, and that's fine, whatever. If I'm using Florence and the Machine should get some of the money that earns. So the system hasn't been abused, but honestly that's probably because we're still a very small channel and no one has it in for us. But with a lot of my earlier videos, it would be so easy for someone to just say, I have decided that I own this footage of Julius Caesar, and I'm going to have this video taken down. And it would be so easy for that to happen. And just because it hasn't doesn't mean it won't, and just because it hasn't doesn't mean we shouldn't be worried about it or outraged by proxy, because again, we're not just creators, we're also viewers. And a lot of the channels that I love, basically all of them, have been personally affected by this. And, I don't want to see them unhappy or not making a livelihood off of what they should be making their livelihood off of. That sentence fell apart. One of the biggest complaints that a lot of the YouTubers we've been watching have had is that there is no repercussion for leveling a false claim. The YouTuber's channel can get taken down over and over again, and one of my favorite things to watch is various abridged series, and of course those channels have been taken down on a basically monthly basis, and nothing bad ever happens. They always get reinstated, and their strikes are always removed, and their videos are always remonetized for the ones that actually monetize their channels, and there's no consequences for doing this. The YouTubers end up suffering, and the people who are leveling the claims end up getting away with no consequences to do it over and over and over again, and this has happened. There are channels that are just repeatedly taken down until it's basically more efficient to just let the channel die than to constantly use YouTube's often broken claim refuting system.
And another great example of this is when Nintendo tried to pull a couple years back with banning Let's Plays from YouTube. So Nintendo basically said, we're going to start a partnership program like the BS that was React World a couple months back. And they said, basically, if you want to do Let's Plays of Nintendo products, you have to go through us. It was a very seemingly like, yeah, work with us, but really don't do anything move. And the thing with Let's Playing a video game is you can play through it, don't say a single word, and basically just copy and paste the game into YouTube. Or you can do what channels we love like Funhouse or Achievement Hunter do, which is
Game Grumps.
Game Grumps, yeah, oh my god, Game Grumps. And
How could you
take
forget
a
the Game
game,
Grumps?
I forgot the Game Grumps.
How could you?
Take a game and make it their own and give their commentary and their insight and something that makes it a truly unique, distinct product, which is why I'll watch a game on one channel rather than another. And that is still victim to the same garbage policies that are in effect right now.
Fundamentally, it's being abused to censor opinions and ideas that the person leveling the claim doesn't agree with or want. So, the Nintendo example, they did not want people's personal ideas about the game because often, a lot of Let's Players, Game Grumps, will complain about the games that they're playing in kind of a humorous fashion, but they're still gonna be like, this game is broken in this way, this game is broken in this way, this game is stupid in this way. And of course, that's half the fun. But, you know, if you make the game and you hear that, you're like, how dare they? And if you have the power to shut that down, and it's right there and there's no consequences for using it, of course it's gonna get abused. The system needs something in place to make that less easy. Like, of course people are gonna try and rip entire movies and put them on YouTube. And really, this system started out to stop that from happening, or to stop people from just taking someone's video and putting it on their channel. And that's fine. It's good that that system exists, but it needs some kind of restriction, because as things stand, it's absurdly easy to abuse, and again, there are no consequences. And honestly, there are more and more people using YouTube as their livelihood, and as that becomes increasingly true, there becomes a greater and greater need for there to be some kind of rules in place for this, so that these people who are now basically staking their livelihood on YouTube being functional can't just have that ripped away from them in like a day because someone disagreed with their opinions on something.
So that's not our situation, but it still matters to us a lot, which is why we in this video are asking, where is the fair use?
Yeah, YouTube, show us some of that sweet, sweet fair use.